name is Caitlin. I have no idea what the show's name is. I'm still trying to figure it out, but when I know more, I'll let you know more. So today, for today's first episode, weekly episode, I have my good friend Jordan Good. Now, what is really cool about this guy is he has a connection to Disney. He just got a new remote internship in New York with Radical Media. He's an essential worker. And so, what he does matters to all of us. So make sure in the comment section you thank him for what he does. So
Thank you.
Jordan, welcome so much to the show.
Thank you so much, Caitlin, for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Oh, my pleasure. So why don't you go ahead and tell the audience a little bit what you're doing at UNC right now?
So I am a broadcast journalist, seeking broadcast journalist. I'm also a minor in communications, and yeah, so just mainly in the media business and stuff like that, and just kind of learning the ropes.
Right. For some of those who don't know either, I forgot to mention this earlier, Jordan's a senior. So next semester will be his last semester at the University of Northern Colorado. Are you excited?
Oh my goodness, it is. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm gonna miss everyone I worked with. Trust me, it's gonna be bittersweet, but overall, I'm very excited to get, just like new ventures and see where my life takes me after that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So how many credits are you taking?
So this semester, I'm taking. Ooh, oh wait, so like we just finished fall. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
taking next semester about 9 to 10 credits. And so good thing is I get credit for my internship that I'll be doing. But then yeah, it's actually over 120 credits. But yeah, I'm just kind of, going as I don't know, doing as much as I possibly can. So I kind of like overwork myself. So I don't really look at that whole like 120 rule, which we're supposed to have when we graduate. So yeah.
Yeah. Who needs that 120 rule anyway? It's just a rule. We don't technically have to follow that rule.
True.
So, as some of you don't know, Jordan and I became friends right when the pandemic first struck Colorado. We were on spring break, if I remember correctly. News started to break out before spring break. We were
Yeah.
all in-person classes and watching news. I'm like, holy cow! Just watching this evil pandemic virus just hit every state so quickly. I just knew, oh, we're next. Yeah, but what's the best part is that we got like at least a couple more weeks off from school while they prepare while they prepared.
That's for sure.
But
Oh my goodness.
yeah, it was weird, but I'm blessed because the pandemic actually brought Jordan and I together as really good friends, and we got to know each other and talk to each other, and we still hang out. We put up with each other frequently, so.
Oh, totally. We keep each other occupied. So
Yeah,
it's
we do. We do. We get along fine. And just that what's awesome about Jordan is that he has a Disney connection. He loves Disney. So, Jordan, why don't you want to tell our audience about that?
so I mean, just like I feel like I've loved Disney. Like one of my favorite Disney movies is Toy Story. So I happen to always be fascinated by the Disney parks and like how they operate and stuff like that. And so basically, like back in, I want to say sophomore year of high school, I figured out the Disney College program. And so I was like, ooh, I kind of like want to dig more into this. And how I found it was just simply looking at Disney content on YouTube. And then all of a sudden I was like, ooh, what's this? And Disney College program popped up and I searched into it and I was like, ooh, I really want to do this after high school. So yeah, that's pretty much just how it kind of like popped up. And then I don't know, it's just what it is. Like, I don't know. I still can't believe that I did it. I'm not gonna lie. It still kind of felt like a dream. I was basically, I mean, if you don't really know what the Disney College program is, it's basically Disney takes students who are in college and they basically put them through an internship and you can be placed anywhere within the park. You could be a character attendant, cast member, just like, well, cast member, the general name, but you could be like a attraction host, work in the restaurants, anything like that in the parks. And basically they just bring them down to either Orlando or California and they just build a resume, make connections, and it was honestly one of the most memorable 6 months of my life. It went by so fast, and hopefully maybe I'll get later in the future possibly work with them more, but we'll see.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you think you're gonna be able to like incorporate all everything you've learned into working more with Disney, you think?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, with the pandemic and stuff, it's a little hard to tell. But for me, I think I'm just gonna kind of take it by step. And so I want to mainly get started on professional internships. And currently, they're kind of accepting remotely. So I'm a little bit looking into that. But right now, of course, I'm going to be focusing on my New York internship. And then hopefully as this pandemic subsides, it's hope like I get a little bit more back into the Disney company. Honestly, I'm just kind of going where life takes me because I'm also looking at a internship with NBC. So it's all over the place.
Well, you're just rolling.
Ah,
It's just this new internship that's popped up, Radical Media,
oh
a
my,
remote in New York. And viewers, this is actually really cool because you actually get to help with PBS, the public broadcast system.
I didn't, I don't know what happened, but I guess you could say the least comes like everything comes when you least expect it. And it's just so funny because I just, looked on, our university's website and I was like, hey, let's look at some more internships. And then I happened to pop up New York City and I was like, you know what? We're just going to take our chances because I think life is mainly just, taking your chances and just letting go and just trying to find, your niche. And so that's why I've always thought like life has no limits. And I've always learned that within my life. It's just more like I feel like I used to isolate myself a lot. And then all of a sudden I was just like, you know what? I need to take more chances. I need to, get out, go network with people, go do something I really love. And I'm really happy because honestly, I didn't think I was going to go to college. And here we are, like almost done with our degree and then getting internships offers, working for Disney and like, really networking and, making my resume really like, I guess you could say stand out, which is really cool and exciting. I mean, I'm very nervous about this internship with PBS, but I'm really happy the fact that I'm just willing to take that chance and like making, I mean, I'm working with executive producers in New York City. So like, I don't know, to me, that just feels amazing. And it's their 50th anniversary. So it's just like, that is just, I mean, it's a huge mouthful in itself, but I'm just very grateful and honored to be selected for this. I don't know, Caitlin, it's just going to be so exciting.
Well, I think it's a big opportunity because it's just like we both work very hard to be
Yeah,
where we are today. I mean, it's like getting these for me getting the internships in the music industry as to where you are
yeah,
you'll be working with these big time people like NBC, PBS, broadcast industry. So it's just like it's surreal. It just shows that if you're willing to work hard, sacrifice, and play hard, something wonderful is gonna come out of that situation.
absolutely. And that's the thing. It's just like, I mean, I went from community college to university. I didn't think I was going to go out of community college. And there's nothing wrong with going to community college.
Oh,
I fully support that. And, but honestly, and even if you just graduate community college, just put forth the effort and like even go look for internships literally anywhere. Or just like any jobs, like just go out and take that effort. And it's just, I don't know, a major drastic change will happen if you just put that effort in.
for me personally, it was always nerve wracking
Um,
because of the big R. The big R, the big rejection. It's just like, but it's like a few weeks ago I've learned you won't know anything till you ask or you try. I mean, what's worse? What's worse that's gonna happen? They're just gonna say no,
um,
yes or no. But it's the rejection. Yeah, that's
I agree. So like rejection, it's you just gotta have to learn to I don't know, because like I try not to take those personally because I mean I'm sure you've been probably rejected some stuff. I've been rejected to stuff. And it's just more like I just kind of just be like, okay, it's not me. It's just possibly not what they're looking for right now. So I just kind of learned from that. And then you know what? Let's just move on. And I don't know. It's like, I mean, it's jobs, it's working. It's like rejection is just one of those things. It's like, you kind of learn from it. And you know what? It just kind of makes me more motivated to go out and find more jobs and just kind of show myself and other people what I can do. And so even though I've had many like, letters and stuff, I'm just kind of like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I mean, I've already gotten many rejection letters from big media companies. And honestly, for me, it's just more like I understand like they're kind of like, high demand in jobs and like, everyone wants to get in, the same niche. But oh yeah, it's definitely something I've kind of like learned about is just like, and just kind of have to accept it. And even though it kind of like is mentally like, oh dang, like sometimes I even think like, oh, I'm not good enough for this. But honestly, I just think to myself, like, you know what? Don't try to make it or define you. It just, just kind of find that motivation to like keep going.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's hard, especially because in our field, what we're studying, because our field is competition.
It
That's what
is.
it is. It's all competition. Everybody wants to be at the top. And and the thing that I learned from Sean, for some of you doesn't know, is that Jordan and I know this amazing professor named Sean Montano. He has connection to all these media outlets. It's ridiculous, but he's a great resource. And I just finished taking his media management class, which Jordan's going to be taking next semester, and he's going to have so much fun in that class. But anyway, I was just going to say, like he's one of the rules is that he says, do not be afraid to compete.
No, I'm really happy you said that because like you said, I am taking this class next semester just because I didn't know it was offered only in the fall, which was totally fine. But I'm very grateful for him in like our media department because I mean, they've been so helpful overall, even though, yeah, we're from, Greeley, Colorado, but it doesn't matter because I mean, it's all about, your networking, your connections, and just like what kind of, wonderful things you can do as far as media. I mean, media right now is it's so broad. You can do, like you said, like journalism, like print stories, podcasts, broadcasts. Like it's so broad, and yet you can create all these amazing like content and stories and stuff throughout this entire like. I mean, we have the web. You can just share it on anywhere, and like possibly even get noticed by so many and even inspire everybody and kind of like remind others, like people maybe that can find, the same connection and stuff like that. It's so powerful, and I'm really happy the fact that we're in this like same division, I guess you can say.
Sure.
And oh yeah, I'm definitely going to be, I mean, I'm looking forward to Sean's class, but it's going to be interesting because I've heard it's just, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm really happy. I'm nervous about it. And I'm really actually looking forward to speaking with more media influencers because I heard you guys do have like special guests that come in and talk.
Oh, that was awesome. His wife was actually a guest too.
I know. I just learned. You told me, didn't you say like his wife is like a anchor or something?
Yeah, she works at 9 News.
That's awesome.
He actually got to interview her because she needed a job.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
I know he asked us not to spread that around. Oops.
Yep. Oops.
Hi, Sean. Oops.
But oh well, cool.
Yeah, no, it's cool. But I like the class because it really prepared me to be ready. Because I'm supposed to graduate next semester, but life happens. I got pulled off and take care of me. So it's kind of like, great, this gives me more time to focus on what I need to fix on.
Exactly. And also like graduation, no one has a time limit. That's the other thing I learned. I graduated like 2015. It's been 5-6 years since I graduated high school. Kind of hard to say that. It's just like hard to believe that's been that long. And honestly, it's all about your journey. It does not matter how long it takes for someone to graduate high school or graduate college or like, wherever your life takes you, it does not matter. Because honestly, I used to compare myself a lot to my friends and their accomplishments. And I'm like, oh, what am I doing? Sitting over here eating a bag of Doritos, watching Netflix. I don't know. But it doesn't matter because honestly, it's just more like, I don't know. I just used to hardcore kind of judge myself because I'm like, there's some people doing all this and stuff. Honestly, doesn't matter. You do, like I said in my Facebook post, I said, like, you own your own story. And it's true. You do. You write your own story. you make it what it is. And no one should ever try to like compare themselves to others because I don't know, you're like, I don't know, 30 years old going to college. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever.
No, no, it's not. As far as I'm concerned, you're never too old to learn things. I'm like, even if you look around, like you won't see, like especially in the missionary library, you'll notice that there are older couples like in their 60s or 70s, and they're still going to school. And I'm like,
Exactly.
good for them.
Good for them. Like it's challenging. And to think about it, like I didn't think I had the motivation, but oh my goodness, when I found it, I was like, wow. Like, I mean, I text you, I like would always be like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, I'm stressed or I freak out. I have those moments. And
frequently.
then I think to myself, yeah. And then at the end of the year or the semester, I'm always like, okay, that actually wasn't that bad. And it paid off because I got like either A's or
Yeah,
B's or whatever. But
yeah.
I also try to remind myself lately, especially this like a couple days ago, I kind of reminded myself like a letter grade does not matter. Like it does, like okay, like it shouldn't define who you are. Like someone shouldn't be stressing over like if you got a C or a B or whatever it is. Because honestly, I will tell you, excuse me, most employers do not even look at GPA. So that's why I kind of like learned like I'm not going to stress too much about this, even though yes, it takes a certain letter grade to pass a certain class. But honestly, I don't know what it is. A lot of employers are not looking at that, but I don't know. And I just think, yeah, don't define your knowledge or like your ability by a letter grade.
It's true. I'm like, for me, I've always taken it seriously, but people, because you and I both went to graduated from Ames Community College. I actually finished a year before you,
Yeah,
and and I always push myself hard because of the grades. And some people like keep telling me that Caitlin, quit it. Grades
yeah.
aren't everything. You're still a good person. Just because math isn't your lingo doesn't mean you're a bad person, right?
Hmm.
Just you're still a good person. Math
Yeah,
is evil for you. I get it. I'm
yeah,
proud of you for hanging in there. Just don't give up. You're still a good person.
exactly. No, 1,000%. I agree with you. Yes.
Math will never be my lingo. I have zero intentions of touching that subject for a very long, long time.
I remember Dr. E was like, Dr. E's one of our professors. He's always like, yep, we're majoring in media for a reason. This is why I can't do it. Like, as far as math goes, it means nothing to us. Like, we're storytellers. I'm sorry, but like the most I'm gonna know as far as math is, pluses, minuses, and maybe some division, but that's about it.
I
Sorry.
do, yeah, the basic stuff. I can do the basic stuff. It's the stuff when the ABCs start to become a factor into math. That's where I'm like, see ya.
Exactly.
I can
No.
do the basic stuff, but anything with the ABCs and all that stuff, I'm like, see ya. I'm not
I
gonna do it anymore. See ya. I hit my calculators for a reason.
exactly. Yeah.
See,
Exactly.
this is why I like our majors. Like we don't have to worry about math.
No.
It's
Weekend.
like we
So
focus on things
flexible.
that matter. Math doesn't matter in journalism. I mean, it can if you're looking statistically, but I'm not unless I have to.
Can't imagine doing one of those. Just like, oh yeah, statistically, all I can't imagine writing like a print story about anything
No,
like statistics. I'd be like,
no, I can do
yeah,
it.
professors or whoever's like professional in this field to
Docs.
not doing it. I guess docs, yeah, I guess she can do. She could definitely do
She
it.
mentioned it. She mentioned the big idea for us to take a statistics class because we're gonna be looking at numbers, and my brain's like, nope, we're done. Thank you.
I just realized that would be funny if we actually did have to take a statistics class, because that's not even part of our major or like our requirement. But now that I think about it, I'm actually kind of surprised that they don't make us do one of the. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm nope, nope.
I took statistics once before I graduated because I thought I was gonna go into psychology, but then
Wow.
funny how things work out. You're in the land of journalism and you're loving every bit of it. And so it's kind of like, it's like, well, I already took statistics. I have no meanings, but I haven't forgotten the material, so I'm good. Thank you.
Exactly. No, I agree with you. I'm just like, the most I've taken as far as a math class goes, I think the highest level, probably algebra 2. That was it.
Oh, God.
I know the words algebra, trigonometry.
Algebra.
Yeah, I'm like, nope, none of
No,
those.
no, no. I see the calculus stuff like all the time at Ames, like they write on the drive board, and I'm like, no, no bueno. Kudos to you if you understand it, but no bueno. I'm out. Nope.
Yeah, I agree with you. Nope, nothing as far as math goes. I'm like out. It's too funny
Well,
now that I think about that.
yeah, well, that it was kind of interesting too while learning about journalism. It's kind of interesting like how open the field is. I mean, technically speaking, you don't have to stay on one area. You can expand. There's room for expanding. And I'm like, once I figure it out, I can do like this, and that, like podcasting, a bunch of
Mhm.
other things. I'm like, holy cow, this is a new game. I love it.
I agree. And I think there's a little stigma. Like some people think, oh, you're majoring in journalism, you want to be a reporter. No. Like my thing is more like I understand where people are saying that, but also I don't want to just be a reporter. Like I don't know if I want to, but like for me, I'm just still trying to figure out. Like I even told the executive producer during my interview for New York, I was like, he asked me, what do you want to do long term? And I just said like, I generally just I'm still trying to figure that out. And honestly, this company is very, reputable. And honestly, I'm maybe I can look into like film documentary. I mean, I'm working on this nationwide documentary like in a couple weeks. Kind of interesting to say that, but it's just like it's not just reporting. Like you said, we have a whole broad spectrum podcast, broadcast, like literally you can go anywhere. Like we can even do PR if we want. Like, I mean, you just got back from, you just said you were finishing up on your internship. Like you you have experience on your resume now, Caitlin, that you have interviewed, you have worked with bands that are well known. I mean, you're amazing, like dedication as far as like you working with Kiss and like watching all these, like, I mean, isn't that crazy to like just to think
Uh,
about?
for me personally, I didn't really think about it. It just happens. I wasn't planning. No,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I wasn't planning on writing like album reviews. It just happened by chance, kind of like you with your internship. You look at Handshake. Oh, MXCW is looking for an instrumental album reviewer. Oh, cool. I can write about music. I dig it. Oh, Rope Dope Records is looking for a PR intern. Whoa. Okay, let's give it a shot. It's like, never in my wildest dreams will I be, working with artists or even meeting artists,
Yeah.
like backstage online and getting to know them personally.
Yeah.
Never.
It's crazy to think it just like life just, I mean, it literally happens for like out of the blue. Like I applied, like you said, I applied to the New York one, was like not thinking anything. Literally within a day, I got something back, and I was like, "Well, what?" And so, yeah, it's crazy to know that even if we're from like Greeley, Colorado, a small town, does not matter where you come from. Like, just gotta put yourself out there and see what you get. Like, and me having like a little bit of anxiety, like I feel like a lot of people have anxiety these
Oh,
days, but
totally.
like just that thought of like, oh, you're probably like not better, like not good enough for something, or like you know what I mean, like that just kind of like negative feeling you have, like you don't do well and or whatever. Basically, like I don't know, I just think I just kind of like overcome that obstacle of like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna see how it works, and you know what, if something possibly doesn't go wrong or doesn't go my way, or not my way, but like the expectations the company wants, then I'm happy to know that like the guys are the executive producer that I talked to. He even said like, if you need any help, seriously, email me, text me, like whenever you need. And I just felt so good about that. The fact that this company just like cherishes every single person. Like I felt like I was already part of their family by the time I was done with their interview, because I just felt like they are so organized, so professional, and just they understand, like this is what, like basically you need to start somewhere in life and we're going to give you that opportunity. So it just felt, I don't know, I just felt very good about the position I'm in right now.
Well, you should be. You worked hard. I'm
Thank
like,
you.
we all work hard. We're on different
Yeah.
roads, but I totally get it. The struggle is real.
Mhm.
And to the people in the audience, you don't think the struggle is real. It is. it just comes with a lot of the work that we put into it, a lot of time, a lot of hours.
I agree.
It's not easy. I mean, journalism by far is not the easiest field. It's not. It's more complex than anything else. I thought it would be an easy road until I started writing, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
I know, and you know, people are always. I mean, I don't know, some people, but and the good point you brought up is like people are always like, oh, how hard is it just to get, how hard is it to, report on something, on the news or something like that. Or I see some people like I follow some news anchors on TikTok, just kind of random, but like I kind of like follow their journey and stuff like that. And I look at the comment section and they're all like, oh, how'd you get this gig? It seems like it's very easy. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not gonna lie. It's actually I'm not gonna say it's really challenging like Harvard or whatever, but it's like it's a lot. Like you have to think about, I mean, we learned as far as our degree goes, ethical standpoints, law, like those two and how they correlate is actually pretty complicated. I'm not gonna lie. And like you have to know like what you can and can't report, which sounds so easy, but truly you need to think about like what no, you need to truly think about your entire process of, oh, is this story ethical? Is this going to be a negative backlash on and not just yourself, but like the media company in general. So like you need to think about your employer and how their reputation is going to be if you were to put something out, like it's a lot. And I feel like, especially like honestly in docs class, like I felt like I ended up not really, like, I'm not gonna lie, my first grade when I got my first print story report back, she gave me what was it? It was a C. And like I said, I beat myself up for it. That was a year ago. But honestly, now that I look at it broader spectrum, like coming from that to like a completely like working towards our capstone project, which is our news production class, it just, now that I look at it as a whole, it completely all makes sense. And so yeah.
It does. I'm actually really blessed that I had a teacher like Dogs, because she really really pushed us
She
to
did.
find our writing, who we are through our writing. And, I mean, she stepped on the toes, she pushed you, and, and somebody in media management says, do not go into Dogs class with a growth, or no, do not go into Dogs class with a fixed mindset. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
It's crazy. It's just like, and yeah, I felt the same way. I was like, oh no. Like the first 2 weeks of her class, I was like, oh, I don't know. I actually questioned, why am I in this major? And then I don't know what it was, but I just was like, you know what? I'm going to show like her, like all her feedback, and she all does it with love. Like she wants us to be good at stuff. She wants us to like succeed in life. Like she wants us to like, she just is that person that's like, no, that's wrong. I need you to change it. And if you really look past all like the straightforward comments and, like kind of like it was a little like, a standoffish, if you will say, like when I first like received feedback and like her tone and stuff like that. But if you really take that all back and realize where she's coming from, I mean, she's a professor. She's published hundreds, I don't know, maybe thousands of articles in the newspaper. Like it is crazy. Like she has done so much and she knows this business along with Dr. E, along with Sean, and like they all know what they're looking for. So if you just take all that information you learned in our major and really like think about why they're, teaching us the way they are, it's because they want us to do good. They want us to succeed. And it really did. Like after that first media class, which was a year ago, I ended that first news writing class. I really thought, wow, I learned a lot. And she actually ended up to be one of my favorite professors. And she's my advisor. And I emailed her about everything. And if you really just look past it, it's so rewarding to have her as a professor.
No, it's great, because I never had a professor like her before. So, But the thing
Mhm.
I have to constantly remind myself while taking her classes is that she has a doctorate in editing. All right, she understands how hard it is to write. I mean, she's basically teaching what she has learned,
Mhm.
introducing to us.
I
So
mean,
basically,
mhm.
she's seen more things than I think Dr. Ishan and Docs altogether have seen far more things than we have seen.
I agree. And she will literally look at someone like a student's paper. She could probably grade that within like literally less than 5 minutes. Like she will go right for it. Like she knows exactly like you can write about anything and she'll figure it
Oh,
out. Right. I
yeah.
mean, we're even stressing, like I'm even like still struggling on the struggle bus. I think maybe you are too. I don't know about AP style. So
Mm-hmm.
like I know you watch YouTube videos and stuff like that. I kind of need to get on that bandwagon because everyone, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know what Associate Press writing was. I was like, okay, how hard is it? Like before going into my major, I was like, how hard is it really to like write a story with just straight facts? How hard? That's not that hard. Same thing, like, oh yeah. And then my first, print story, it turned out to be a C, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? So when I looked at it, I was like, oh, that makes sense because I'm very much of an Okay, so I'm a very opinionated person. So it's not really going to work out for me to be an opinionated person unless I want to be an opinion columnist or reporter or whatever. Which I'm not gonna lie, I think you get so much hate if I were to. I mean, regardless, in the field, you probably get so much. I mean, you get a lot of net positivity, but I mean, no matter where you go, like you're gonna get negative things. But I don't know. I just I didn't think I was like that opinionated until I got my paperback. And when you actually look at her notes, they make sense. Like she will be like, yeah, this does not fit. And I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's right. That does not fit at all. But yeah, it's so funny. I can even pull it up if you want. I have
No,
my
you're
first.
good. You're good. I bet you the audience will believe you.
Right. I'm like, yeah. But I don't know. But in other words, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm very
She's,
grateful for her.
but she's a really good gift, and what you guys do not know is that Jordan and I are friends with her on Facebook. Believe it or not, and she's actually a really cool person. She
She's
really
really,
is.
she
She's
is.
very sweet. She's very nice, and I actually asked her for advice not too long ago about a project for my album review internship. So she gave me, like I told you about those blurbs, Jordan. I had to
Yep.
write blurbs, and she told me to stay away from adjectives. I'm like, we'll do. And avoid words with ing. I'm like, yes, ma'am.
She also doesn't like the words that.
Okay, it's hard.
No,
It's
no, I agree.
hard.
It's
That
hard.
I still write that. It's still in my music reviews. That.
Yeah. And everyone that's taken her class, they've all thought about it. And like I said, it's all with love. Everyone has taken her class, and I've still thought this way, and I probably will forever feel this way until I get it down. I will literally, even if it's not journalism, it's my other classes, I will still read over my stuff, which is really good anyway. But like, I will even look for words like that or like extra words that you don't need. I will
Yeah,
be very wordy.
when
And I'll,
yeah, when I review a male music album,
Mhm.
I actually am getting better with that too. It's like, okay, I need to reword this. How do I reword this? Like, oh, okay, easy. And
Mhm.
so it's just like, it's just like, I just want to show her something like, hey, I do pay attention. It's like,
Exactly.
but I
Yeah.
think she knows that. She knows we're both working really hard with what we're doing, and
Yeah.
but she's a really good supporter. She really is, and
Mm.
I hope one of these days you'll find really good professors or mentors that actually become very good supports for you in the future. Because Joe and I are very blessed to have the supports that we have.
Yeah.
So,
And she even said, she was like, so I emailed her, like I said, a ton, just about the littlest things, because I'm just like, okay, what's this? But she even, so like at the end of my advanced news class, she gave me an award, and it was like best infographic or something like that. And I was kind of surprised, I'm not gonna lie, I did not think I was gonna get this. But it was basically a best infographic, and if nobody really knows what that is, it's just basically It's just basically a block of text in a news article, and it just kind of like shortens like very briefly about what the topic you're talking about. It's just, yeah. So anyway, I made this infographic, and she said best infographic goes to Jordan Good, and I was kind of surprised when I found that. And it had to be on my esophageal cancer story that got published in the Mirror, which was really nice. And so I emailed her and I was like, thank you so much for the semester. You've been so much help. Like, you have no idea. Like, it's you know. And she emailed me back and she's like, Jordan, you have improved so much since last fall. It is incredible to see your growth. And like, she basically said it along those lines. And she just said, I just want you to make me proud. And honestly, that really touched me a little bit because I was just like, oh, that was really sweet of her. So that's also like a little thing, like, I don't know. I'm excited to see where my journey comes and like just to be like, wow, like this is how far I'm gonna go, possibly, you know. Like I'm already thinking about maybe yes, I will. But I don't know, just like that little motivation coming from like a professor that I thought, and everybody did, was like, oh my goodness, she's so hard on grading and she's doing this and that. But truly, though, she only means it for, you know, the sake of just, you know, making her students the best that they can be and show how capable you really are. And honestly, that motivation, all her notes and stuff and all the things she's, you know, graded me on, I used that and I utilized it as a way to like find motivation to be better. And it works. It does. And if you really look past like all that, like so to speak, you know, negativity or whatever you want to call it, it really does, like, you need to like step back and realize this is like, they know what they're doing. Our department knows what we're doing. Just kind of go along for the ride and look at it as a positive, constructive criticism, like feedback, so to speak. So
No, it's great. It is positive criticism. I mean,
mm-hmm.
right, even with like Dr. Yoshan, it's all positive criticism. It may not sound like it, but it really is. Like all three of them, it really is. It really kind of just makes us think, okay, so if I did this the wrong way, then how do I improve this? They'll tell you, and you work on it.
Even like news are bare news. So like Sean, love him to death. Even Dr. E does this a little bit, but I mean, we get it. They're professors, they know what they're doing. Sean will nitpick at the littlest things, which I understand. Like we said, he will like, and okay, my biggest flaw for like bare news was wallpaper. So like, if you don't like, okay, like wallpaper video, so to speak. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you now. Yeah.
Everyone that doesn't know wallpaper. So like basically, if you don't, okay, so if you make a news package and like anything that you see on the, you know, package, it's basically anything that's like a one frame, just like something still. Like I've always learned, like we've always learned, you always need to have some kind of movement going on in your image. And for me, I always did just like photo or video of just a basic standard stop sign or building or whatever it is. And yeah, I've always said like, don't do that. So yeah, Sean will definitely tell you don't do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, they mean it. A lot of people could be angry about it all they want, but in reality, they're just building this up to make sure that we don't make the same mistake professionally.
And I totally get it too. But it's funny because even if I look, and I know not everyone's perfect. I know some people like, even if, I mean, I'm comparing some, because I always say like, look at news packages online and like, you can search like examples and stuff like that. I will see, I mean, I know Sean isn't like controlling everything, but I will see so much wallpaper on everyone's news package. You know what I mean? Like just like your basic. And I don't know. It's just kind of funny. But I totally understand why they mean that, because you don't want wallpaper because you need to try to get your audience attention. Like they're kind of gonna, if you just have simple still images of like a building, a car, just like parked there, it's gonna look a little like, oh, whatever. Why should I care? I don't know. but something like that.
Yeah, it's funny because then you're like, oh, you gotta fix this, and you look at other people's like work, and you realize you're making the same mistakes, but they didn't get corrected. It's kind of like,
Right.
interesting.
Right. And maybe, that's just their way of thinking outside the box. I mean, that's their way of
Sure.
probably like, realizing, that could possibly stand out for your portfolio. And so if someone like if you were to go apply to a news station, they could actually be like, oh wow, you actually have really good like footage, like from all these events you attended or anything like that. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
Oh, sure.
But
No
yeah,
doubt.
no, it's
Yeah.
really
So, so back to your internship in New York, you were
that.
mentioning that it'll count as a class.
Yes.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's funny. We went like completely off the tangent, but I'm totally will. I'm fine with that. So yeah, the internship. Everyone's asking like, oh, what is it for? So it's for PBS. The American Portrait. Oh wow, yes, American Portrait. I want to say this wrong. American Portrait. Okay, so basically, um, the job description is very broad, which is totally fine. Challenge me all you want. I am ready for it.
Oh yeah.
So basically, I will be able to get the opportunity, and I probably should watch their last year's documentary because just want to like get an idea of what's going on. But I get the opportunity to interview anyone that I think is just, I guess you could say like that has an interesting story about themselves. And I can even, like we're doing right now, like on Zoom, I can like just interview someone and then we can use that footage for like their nationwide documentary. And so it's basically just giving other people a voice, which is, I know we're very well at doing that in our major. And it's essentially just like letting people's, unknown voices be heard finally, especially through PBS. And now, like, I mean, I'm already thinking about some story ideas right now. And I can interview them. They can also, hold it up like a standard phone and just like record themselves. And they send that footage to me. And then I talk with executives and just kind of be like, okay, this is what I think needs to be, what I think will be really good for the documentary. And I'm already thinking about story ideas and stuff like that. And I have to do roughly 10 a month, which is totally fine. That's manageable. And I probably will do a little bit more than 10. But so they want our goal is to do, I think 40 in the semester. So 10 a month. So that's 4 months. And so do the math,
Yeah.
So I've already think about some people that like they even said you can interview your uncle, you can interview your grandma. I don't know, but I don't know. I've already had some connections and thinking about, oh, I can interview some people that have, I guess you can say worked at Disney cast members, but also like I don't want to just be like standardized, like, oh yeah, here's someone that's worked for Disney. I mainly want to do like something like because their company is more like find a story, but then don't try to just go off of what they say, like this is my story. Kind of like alter the way that story is and like find a little deeper story within the story you were told. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no. I mean that actually. Oh my
Did
goodness.
that made sense?
That requires a lot of creativity.
I know, and
I
that's
think,
what's
but
like, oh,
I'm like thinking about going, oh, dude.
oh, yeah. So it's like, I don't know. I'm gonna try. I mean, it's all about trying your hardest. So I'm
Exactly.
going to.
They're taking a chance on you because they really think that they believe that you're a good fit for them, and I agree with them. You have the talent, you know how to work
I,
media platforms, you know how to edit, just as much as I do, and so it's just a
yeah.
matter of putting together and finding that story. You're creating a story, but you're looking for the meaningful part. What
Right.
makes this person?
So yeah, exactly. And if you go to like their PBS website, I got a link from one of their recruiters, and they just had a thing where it was like, and I even had to do this for one of my processes for the interview. You basically select a prompt, and it's more like I stand for this. I wake up in the morning because this. And it's more some like self-motivation, like just trying to get a feel for what our nation has and like as far as like what, like we said, like what kind of stories people can bring based on this one, prompt that you're given. So like I said, for one of my prompts, I said, I stand for equality. And I just kind of like went on a little story about like why I think should be equality and all that stuff. So it's just, I don't know, it's so touching. Like I watched the trailer and stuff like that. And it's I don't know, I think like, I don't know, I just think this thing it's such a perfect fit for me, I really think. And it's just like, I cannot wait because I can just network with either people from, within my city, within, Greeley, or even I can find people like across literally the nation, like just to like sit down and just talk to them about what they have to give and what kind of story I can pull from them. And they can be featured on PBS possibly. And they even said we can even be featured like ourselves for their nationwide documentary, their 50th anniversary, might I say. And I don't know, it's going to be so interesting. I mean, just their trailer in general was so moving to me that I'm so excited. Like, I don't know, it's still, like I said, still feels very surreal. So we'll see how it goes.
No doubt, no doubt. I think it'd be really cool because you're going to be really amazed where you can find out about people the more you dig a little bit deeper into their soul, just a little bit, just to find that story says, boom, wow,
Yeah.
this is what I want. And you might want to bring some tissues because I know a lot of people have a lot of stories to tell.
I was just thinking about that actually.
You might
I was
need
like,
some tissues.
I was moved in like this trailer and I was like, wow, I didn't cry, but like I did think to myself, I was like, I may actually need some, like you said, tissues or like something, because I generally think, yeah, I might cry because I mean, I could be interviewing anybody. Like,
Yeah, it's true because everybody has a story, and a lot of stories are not happy ones. Some of them are heartbreaking ones, but
mhm,
the thing about those stories is how how those sad moments really build people up to keep them going, even on days where they just want to quit.
exactly. And especially like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, nothing like the pandemic has anything to do with this, but it's just more like, I don't know, just like the awareness of like what people's like mental state is, especially during this time and need in a pandemic, is going to be kind of interesting. Like, I don't know, it's definitely going to bring awareness and stuff like that, especially to the people around the world, like in our nation and stuff like that. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I start January 15th, so that's less than a month. I
Oh
know.
yay, exciting. Is
So
it so is it non-paid or
it's not paid,
that's
which is,
okay.
yeah, it's fine. Honestly, like we said, anything to get my foot in the door, and all we need in this world is a chance. That's it. Like
That's it.
that's all we need. People that are like in college and majoring and stuff, all you need in this world is a chance. And you know what? If that one employer just thinks, oh yeah, you're capable of this, you can do this, or like just simply reach out and like once you get somewhere and like you always have to have a start point, and this is mine, which is really nice.
Exactly. It's like both my internships, were unpaid and people are pestering me like, you need to look at paid ones. I'm like, that's from your perspective. My perspective is just getting my foot in the door, start showing people what I'm capable of and what I can do for them.
I agree. I mean, I was just okay, so like my parents, they support me, they love me no matter what, and they even were questioning some of the things I was doing, and I was like, you need to understand, like I need to do this for a reason. So like for instance, the Disney College Program, for instance, I got paid during that internship, but I'm not gonna lie, they supported me, but I kind of felt like they didn't really like fully support me on the decision of moving down to Florida, leaving my very well paid job, and then making minimum wage in Florida. But ultimately, I was thinking to myself, this would seriously be a really good opportunity for me to network down there, meet new people, even put that on my resume, for instance. And like I've always thought this, it's always going to get, I guess you can say, like unforeseen before it actually gets big. And some people just end up in the craziest situations that like, hey, like you ask any like average person, like how'd you start like your career? Like people like producers or writers or whoever, like they're all gonna say they're probably not all, but you know what I mean? Like they're all gonna say, oh, I worked somewhere small, like an internship, or like not even like a solid paid internship. Like you like if you are more motivated to do something, even if it's unpaid, that just shows the company how dedicated you are and how serious you are with your employer if you want to like move up in the company or like move somewhere else, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. For me, with obviously tomorrow is my last day with my Rope-a-Dope PR internship, but I show a lot of people, it's like, yes, I did sign up to be the visual and video editing person, but I, I'm happy with learning about what PR is, what the other side of journalism is. Quite frankly, I have a lot of respect for people who work in PR. It's demanding. It takes a lot of time, but I
Oh,
got to know so much, and I got to see so many good things come out from sending those thousands of emails weekly. It's just like
yeah,
I was blessed to be part of it, and but I'm not gonna rule it out. I might end up doing a PR internship. You just never know.
exactly. And I mean, I applied to an internship in Denver. I got the offer, but I respectfully declined just because, I mean, obviously this popped up. And but I was going to drive 60 minutes unpaid just to go, like really gain the experience. I mean, that's all really what it is. And I mean, for instance, I mean, remember Madison Burns, for instance, she's
Oh
now a
yeah.
reporter for our Colorado Springs. She is a reporter, you guys. She's literally on the air, and she came from, I mean, our department, but she worked her butt off, and she worked for Bear News, and she did so much. Honestly, she deserves I mean, we all do. We worked our butt off, but yeah, you just never know where life takes you, because I mean, yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I know that she's loving it, what she's doing, so I'm happy for her. She worked really hard with those packages. I'm like, holy cow, look at her go.
Yo, her editing though, it is really, it's nice. I mean, she would try every little effect like on that Final Cut or Adobe Premiere, and oh my gosh, yeah, she was determined. I mean, and good for her. Seriously, she's gonna go far in life as well, and I can't wait to see her like possibly on in Denver doing something big.
Oh, it won't surprise me.
Not at all. Like she set sail right after right after college. She went right to a broadcast station.
Oh, she
So
grabbed it too. Yeah, I mean, she
mhm,
jumped on it. She's like, see ya.
that's her goal. And honestly, I'm so proud of her. She's incredible.
Indeed. It's really interesting to see how some of our fellow classmates have come along and really just trying to
Hmm.
make their mark in the world. It's really good.
Yeah, it is. And even Sean didn't remember. I think you said like something about like Sean says like some people, end up getting their bachelor's and then like going out and pursuing whatever, like, as far as media goes or like whatever
Yeah.
degree goes. And then, there are those few that end up, at Costco or something like that. And then like, you know, working their, retail job. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't get me
I
wrong.
mean, it's hard
I mean,
sometimes.
I work at Costco right now.
Exactly. I'm like, what they're whining about? No, it's
Exactly.
just I just think it takes time for certain things to fully develop.
Exactly. And I think, I mean, like I said, I work at Costco right now. It pays really well. Don't get me wrong. I love the company. But ultimately, I feel like there's a lot of people that have that mindset like, oh, you're gonna, you get paid really well. That means you're just gonna stay there. Not gonna lie, as much as I love everybody, I generally don't see myself working in retail for the rest of my life. Even though ultimately, and that's just once again the money thing. It ultimately just shows I don't care much about the money. Like, yeah, it does matter, but also like I'd rather go do something like in my field, respectfully. So the opportunity, Costco has given me amazing like benefits and stuff. I mean, they're very known for stuff like that. But ultimately, I'm ready to use my degree. I'm ready to reach out, branch out. And honestly, I really am excited to see where this, after this internship, where my life takes me. I really don't I don't know. I'm excited. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see.
You just never know, and that's the fabric of it. That's like the fabric of life, from a recent interview, well, it was a couple of years ago on YouTube. Richard Sambora did an interview. He just left Bon Jovi. He what was it? Aftermath of a Lowdown. Great record, helped me through my depression, and he did this really sit down interview. I think you saw the interview. I sent you a link to that, and he talked. Yeah, and
Mhm,
yeah, I really like what Sambora said was like, you won't know what's out there until you throw yourself into the abyss.
mhm.
You gotta jump into the abyss to see what's out there. That's like the fabric of life, just figuring out once you dive in, what's gotta happen. That's just the fabric of life. Life's supposed to be exciting. Just jump on in, see what happens.
Exactly. And not everyone's gonna know. And I've always thought oh, everyone's got such a, such a high plan on what they're gonna do exactly when they get out of high school. And I'm thinking to myself, no way. I mean, maybe you might, very few handful do. I don't know. But I've always thought to myself, no one truly knows what, I don't know. You just never know what life throws at you. So, and that's the glory of life. It's just after this, it's you just go out and you just
Makes about
take
it.
chances. Yeah.
Makes about it. Just might as well. It's a lot of people continue school after graduating. I'm like, yeah, no, we're playing on the brakes because I really want to see where this takes me. So,
Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be interesting. It's just, it's all about being in the moment, I guess you can say.
oh, it always is. It's just timing's everything. And I think for anything to develop, you have to go through all the blood, sweat, and tears to get to that point.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's a good way to put it. You're always gonna go, it's gonna get, I guess you could say, quote unquote, ugly before it gets, oh,
And good.
yeah, exactly.
Well, that's how you learn anyway. You gotta go through the good, the bad, the ugly, and
You got to move your way up. You got to
you
start
just
somewhere.
gotta go through it. It's like, yes, you can have your hissy fit, but for me, I have my fair share of hissy fits to the point where I have my hissy fit, then I move on. That's
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Yeah,
done. We're done. We're moving on. No more hissy fits. Let's go.
exactly. No, absolutely. I mean, I've 2015 I graduated and I just generally did not I went from Front Range Community College, just did my general ed. I went to Ames Community College, loved the community college, loved everyone I worked with.
Great place.
And then yeah, I got my degree and then I went to Disney. And then when I was down in Disney, ironically, that is actually that's kind of like the how do you say it? Epiphany.
Epiphany.
Yes, thank you. I
No problem.
was like, what is it? I just had that moment where I was like, wow, I actually kind of want to extend my education. So that's when I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's go to university. And yeah,
Well, well, my end, when I graduated from Ames in 2017, my a lot of people were speaking for me. Caitlin should do this. Caitlin should do that. And I'm like, shut up. In my mind, of course, I'm like, shut up. It's like, no, fine. I'm planning this right now. I'm going to UNC. Yeah, I'm going to chase this degree in journalism because I really think it's going to take me somewhere.
yeah.
And let me tell you something, a lot of people, a lot of family members, a lot of friends really doubted me.
And honestly, I'm very proud of you. The fact that you actually I mean, you put forth the effort. You didn't listen to anybody. You just went for it. That truly is an amazing thing you did, honestly. And might I ask, what were the assumptions they made? What were you gonna do?
But they were expecting me to find a job, like an office job, or I could be working at like anywhere,
Yeah.
anything. It's like, well, now that Ken's done, she could get a job. Or Ken's gonna have this job. No, she's gotta do this and that. And I'm like, just slow down, horses. I have something figured out.
Yeah. And my parents, they support me, like I said, But they also had the intention like, oh, you work at a really good job, Costco. You're just going to stick to it for the rest of your life. They kind of had that. And I'm just thinking to myself, no, don't, I mean, I don't know. I feel bad saying that, but just like, they just kind of like spoke for myself. And I was just like, there's no way.
Well, for
But yeah.
me, for me, my dad's like, this wasn't the goal I had for you. And for my mind, I'm like, okay, was this my goal or was this just your goal of what you think I should be doing? If that's the case, I'm sorry, but I'm going to keep doing what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah. One of my coworkers, and you know what? Good for you, because one of my coworkers, they even said something about like, oh, you need to stay here because, it pays well. That's all they talk about. Oh, it's the money. Oh, it's this,
Exactly.
money brings you happiness. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, do I really want to go to a job where like I'm grateful I have it. I love the people I work with, but I generally don't want to work retail. Like I don't want to, I'm getting to the point where like I don't want to be here. Like, I don't know. It's just more like, yes, I'm grateful I have a job. Don't get me wrong, it's a pandemic, whatever. But it's just like, I, it just kind of shows you like money does not bring happiness. It does not. And like, you really need to just work towards what you really want to do in life. And then possibly, hopefully, make an income of what you really are passionate about. And yeah, that's what we're doing. And that's amazing. That's beautiful. And to have someone, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, is that their dream or is that your dream? And I think it's mainly that's their dream. Like that's what they want to do. That's their idea of success is, oh, I want you to make really good, if you stay here, you make like, I don't know, $200,000 and compared to your degree, which is like blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, sure,
But
that'd be great, but for me, would I be happy? No, I won't
yeah.
be happy with what I do.
Yeah, exactly. And my parents, I don't know, did your parents go to college?
Uh, Briefly, yeah.
Yeah, my parents, they actually are just high school graduates. That's not a big deal. Go for it, you do you. But I think because they have that mindset of, oh, I'm a high school graduate and I'm successful, they're kind of think to yourself like, oh, you don't have to go to college and be in debt to be successful. And that is true. That is 100%
No.
true. However, that's the thing. Back to the money. I don't care about the money. Like, yes, I'm going to find a way to, get somewhere in life. I'm going to find a way to, get myself out there and be successful. But it's going to take time. It's not going to all come at once.
Oh, no, it's not. It's like a Tom Hanks line from League of Their Own. If it
Yeah.
wasn't hard, everybody would be doing it. It's the hard that makes it great.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, he's right. I mean, Tom Hanks is right. He's spot on. Like, ooh, rah. It's like we wouldn't be here if
That was Tom Hanks. Wow.
we wouldn't be here doing this right now if we took the easy way. I think, it's just going through the ups and downs of being a student and dealing with a pandemic in life, it makes us work harder.
It does. And part of it for me is just more like, I wanted to prove myself wrong, I guess you can say, because I used to think like, oh, I was in high school, didn't know what I was wanting to do. And I just thought to myself, I'm just going to work a typical like 9 to 5 job, whatever. I don't know, like something like that. And basically not go to college. And I don't know. I just had that moment. I was just like, you know what? I might prove myself wrong. And it is what it is. It's nice. It really feels nice to like really go after something that you really been wanting. But yeah, even though I'm not really sure what I want, like as far as like, I know I want to work somewhere in the media industry, but I'm not too exactly sure where. But that's not, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, even if you like, I don't know, like, in other words, I think you should have like goals and dreams and whatever. You shouldn't have expectations from other people and be like, oh yeah, you're gonna do this. No, you don't know where I'm gonna be. You don't know what kind of chances or what kind of capabilities I have. Like, I can go anywhere. And just that's the thing. Just like put your mind out there and just kind of like take risk. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, again, it falls back to
Yeah.
to the rejection. What's the worst gonna happen? They're just gonna
Exactly.
it's gonna be yes or no. They're not gonna laugh in your face. They're not gonna make fun of you. They're gonna say yes or they're gonna say no. That's it.
No, no. How many? I mean, I've applied, like I said, I would go straight to the big media companies. I wouldn't go small. I would just go straight to the big media companies. And I would literally, Caitlin, I think you knew this. I applied to Warner Media. I applied to NBC Universal. I applied to Disney. All of them have said no. However, yeah, I was going to say, however, it does not matter. Like, you get yourself out there, get your resume out there, and then you know what? Really dive in and just get your mindset in there. And just, I mean, and it like, even though I had that many rejections, I ended up landing somewhere at PBS. Like, it just happened.
The way I view with rejection is like, look, it just isn't our time. See, thank
Mhm.
you for taking the time to look over my cover letter or resume. Have a wonderful day. You know, it's just isn't our time. It's not. In fact, I don't even consider it as rejection. I consider it as nope. That's just wasn't it. Let's just keep going. Something better is out there. We will get there. How long will it be? I don't know, but we gotta keep trying.
And also, I mean, one tip I have for everybody on this is like, yes, it's good to always apply and stuff like that. And then, it's always, good to have that moment of, oh, I got rejected, but also remind yourself like, oh, it's not the end. Keep trying. That's your motivation. I recommend, and I highly recommend everyone has a LinkedIn. Get a LinkedIn because I'm not going to lie. I feel like it somewhat helped me to an extent because I'm actually currently connected to people that have been accepted into these companies that I've been wanting to get into. And I've been actually messaging them, asking them what was their journey and how they got into this company. And it's such a good idea to like really network and get someone's understanding on what these companies are looking for. So yeah, my next step is I want to get into the NBC Page program. I think I talked to you a little bit about that.
Yeah, but the audience doesn't know.
Yeah. So yeah, NBC Page program. And so basically what that is you go to New York and you work with the Today Show, the Good Morning America, I believe, and like all these big media companies, even the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and like all these other ones. Oh yeah, Saturday Night Live as well. Anyway, the list goes on. And these people have been posting on LinkedIn about like, oh, I got accepted into these programs and the ones I've been wanting to go to. And yeah, I've been messaging them and I've been like, hey, so I was wondering if you can possibly look at my resume and also like kind of tell me where you guys came from and how you guys got into this business. And so, yes, it helps. It does. And people think like, oh, networking, I don't want to go out and find people. But like, you don't really necessarily have to be face to face with them. I mean, given obviously the time of need of a pandemic, you can seriously just message them on LinkedIn and just simply have a chat with them about just like, like their experience and stuff like that. And that's what they mean by networking is they don't have to be face to face. They don't have to be within your university. It can literally be on LinkedIn. And yeah, that's all I got to say for people that went in college. I recommend getting a LinkedIn. Even if you're not in college, get a LinkedIn.
Yeah, I'm slowly working on my LinkedIn profile right now, trying to get that set up so I can start networking with more people.
Good.
Trying to find more ways to get my foot in the door in a couple of areas that I would like to work on.
Good. No.
Thank you. Yeah, no, guys, yeah, seriously, take a look at LinkedIn. It's a great resource, and Jordan highly recommends it. I highly recommend it. I'm pretty sure, our professors highly recommend it. And so, yeah, they do. So
Yeah.
seriously, check out LinkedIn. If you're looking for a job or internship, definitely start that LinkedIn account and start connecting because that's pretty much your best bet of getting your foot in the door where you want to be for your future.
Exactly. I agree. Even recruiters are on there. So like even I got in contact with NBC recruiter and he even messaged me and I was like, hey, so do you mind taking a looking at my resume? And he did. It worked. So, and also I think it's that little connection that like, if you like, when you apply to, like when you ask people on LinkedIn about like, oh, can you look at my resume, especially a recruiter, they can also kind of like match you with a face. like, oh, that's him, he applied. So like once you apply to a position, they also link, don't want to be like, what's the word? Cliche. But like they can also match your face that you message on LinkedIn to the application you sent through their system and be like, oh, I chatted with him on LinkedIn. So that also really works too, I think.
Totally. I think once they actually get to know you a little bit, they probably will take you a little bit more seriously because that just proves how serious you are to show them who you are and what you can do for them.
Exactly. And I didn't think, because I got that PBS job, it's just funny because everyone's thinking to myself, I even thought to myself, I was like, oh, it's a documentary. I'm not really like interested or whatever. I don't know. Because, there's that stigma of like, oh, it's journalism. You want to be a reporter. I don't know. But I don't know. I didn't think I was going to be like interested in like, being involved in a documentary. But honestly, it just worked out so well because the one thing in their job description was just more about storytelling and then they were talking about like, making, the unheard voices be heard. And it was just like, wow, this is like perfect. I don't know. Like I said, it happens least when you expect it. So.
Yeah, well, it's amazing, I think that's the exciting part of doing what we're doing. So we don't know what's going to happen. Honestly, to you guys, may feel like we know what's going on, but really, we don't. What we've been doing, we've been working hard. Just a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of hissy fits, a lot of whining.
You got that right.
Yeah, it's like whatever,
Me,
Caitlin.
my end. I would freak out. Like I said, Caitlin has always had my back, and every single time, the littlest things, I would email her or I'll send her a message or I'll email my professor, and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. There's this and that. And I don't know. I overstimulate myself, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm like, okay, well, I worry too, so it's okay. What's going on?
So,
No, we're gonna wait for a couple of days, see what the grade is.
exactly. See? There you go.
So it's like it's not that bad. Come on.
It's not.
But our mind, of course, no. But up here, our minds are like, ah.
Yeah, mine right now, like I said, it's going 1,000 miles an hour, and I'm sure it's going to go 1,000 more miles next semester.
I have a panic/anxiety disorder, so yeah, you can imagine when something stressful happens. It's like up here, it's like
It's that little tiny amount of responsibility. It's just like it just makes you feel like you got so much to do.
It's almost like a do or die thing,
It feels like
right. I'm gonna die. No,
yeah,
really.
exactly. Like I said, I compare my grades, and I'm just like, oh, I gotta be yay, and then I'm thinking,
like, of course, what's wrong with that? I'm gonna be plus A student. What's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with it. I know. I'm because I got straight A's last semester, and this semester I only have 1B, and all the other ones are A's. And I'm like, why am I freaking out over this 1B? Like, oh my gosh, I don't know.
It's not a C.
It's not a C. It's not a D. It's not an F. I mean, it could be way worse. But
I'm pretty sure there are students who are not as fortunate as we are with our grades. So
especially during this pandemic. So I can I can't imagine.
Man. No, they sent out emails saying that there will be in-person classes for next semester.
I don't know what it is, but I never get emails. I don't know if it's like I probably get emails. Like I have the app for the university mail, but I don't know if I turn those off or not, the notifications.
Well, if not, I can just forward it to you on my school email.
If you want.
Yeah, I can do, but yeah, they're saying like half the beginning half of the semester will be in person, and there won't be any spring break, and then I think that's where they're going to switch online.
So they did make that official.
Yeah, I would assume they did because other colleges too are take away spring break, and of course students are not happy. And like, well, you know what?
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think I'll be fine. I mean, I'm not gonna stress out about it. Like,
I think a lot in Jordan, there's people who want to travel and drink and party, but
I mean, I get that is kind of like the prevention of the spread of the virus. I kind of understand that, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, we don't know right now. It's still too early to tell. The
I
vaccine's
know
popping up now. It's still too early to tell right now.
that too. I mean, that vaccine is
That
gonna.
came up pretty quick. It just makes me wonder. You know, I've already heard stories that there are side effects to it, so it's kind of like, well then,
And it's gonna take years of
yeah.
study.
So it's like my both my parents are high risk, so I'm like, yeah. Well, if these nurses get sick because of the vaccine, I don't want my parents to be getting that vaccine.
Yeah. I geez, crazy times we're living in right now.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, who seriously would have thought 2020 will be a year of this unpredictable virus that affects everybody so differently and change millions of lives?
Yeah. And that is the one thing. Okay, I said this. I don't know if I said this to you, but anyway, the only positive thing I will ever say about this virus is the fact that there have been way more remote internship pop-ups than any semester.
Oh yeah,
So
the
I
internship
will
has been awesome.
say that was nice to get an internship in New York and I don't even have to travel there. That to me is quite interesting.
Sorry, the
And
dog. Sorry, the dog.
the doggy getting.
The dog. No, the dog is licking the floor, and he knows I don't like that. Sorry. Yeah. No. I'm sorry.
Oh,
No.
you're good.
Yeah. No. No. I'm happy with the remote internships. I'm happy. I don't have to go to California to write or submit music review work. I don't have to go to New Jersey to promote albums for Rope Dope Records. So it's like, I'm okay with that. I can handle it. I can be in sweatpants and wear a casual T-shirt on Zoom.
Right? You can like open up your. I mean, I'm not gonna do this, but
Oh.
maybe when I start feeling comfortable, I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I was like, if I start feeling comfortable, I'm just gonna.
Oh my
The executive producers in New York are just gonna see me like in my bed, like my chin up over here. I don't know. It's just gonna be.
audience, he's just kidding. I would never let him do
I
that.
would
I
never
promise.
do that.
I would
No,
not. I promise you, honest. I would never let him
that
do
would
that.
be
It would be
so funny
funny, but I
though.
won't let him do that.
That's you come in your first meeting, your executive producer meeting, you're like, hello, I just woke up.
Hi, you
Um,
like my bed hair?
yeah, I also need to remember. Do you get mixed up with the time zones? So
It
like when
does.
you have
It does happen sometimes because it's like, oh, we're having like a Zoom meeting at 11:30 a.m. Like 11:30 a.m. Wait, Eastern time, so that's 9:30 a.m. I'm like,
yeah, they tell me that too. And I mean I saw it coming. I kind of
yeah,
didn't
we
really
signed up
think
for
about
it. You
that.
just shut up and deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean
That's my attitude.
my meetings are they actually require us to meet once a week, which was actually kind of
Same.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
every
Nice.
Thursday.
Nice. I told them I was available both days, so if I wanted to attend it, I could. Just to, get more
Jordan,
people.
Jordan, Jordan.
I'm an overachiever, okay?
Yeah, that's what my soon-to-be former boss Bateman will call you, a people pleaser.
You always knew I was.
He calls me people pleaser. Okay, I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
I'm not too, but you don't see it too often.
I'll be delivering virtual coffees to everybody.
Look, yeah, okay, then I could kind of a latte, please.
Yes, I will be doing that. Be like, hi, what's your email or what's your address? That's so funny. They'll be like, coffee.
It's like
It's
coffee.
gonna be a
Yeah,
little
that's
cold.
great. Since school's out, I've been drinking. I need more and more every day.
It's gonna be a little cold by the time it gets there, but
A little.
or a
No
lot.
tip for you.
All right. But like it's just
Here's your tip: stop butt kissing.
I mean, honestly, you're not wrong. I mean, when I get him down as a reference, I'm definitely gonna
Busted.
be like, oh yeah. She's always called me a butt kisser, which is true though, because I always was. I even
Yeah,
am with
audience, you have no idea. No idea how many times I see him do that.
okay,
So,
so like for instance, ladies and gents, we're going to talk about butt kissing. We'll talk about Docs and my lovely Facebook post. So Docs, like we said, is on
for
our
example.
Facebook. Yeah, she's on our Facebook and she's always like, messaging me once in a while. I posted something on Facebook and it was just simply about, I'm so grateful that like I had the professor. Did you see this?
Yes, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
I was like, I was I was like, I'm so grateful I had my professors. Says something about smooching about my department. And Doc's our advisor slash professor comments, and she's like, "Oh my, what did she say?" She just basically was just like, "Oh yeah, we're so grateful to have you." Blah 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 blah. Just like I don't know. And then of course Caitlin messaged me, and she's like, "You're such a butt kisser." And I'm like, "Yes, I am. Yes, I
I'm
am."
like, yeah, I see his comment, guys. I'm serious. I see his comment. I'm like, I'm missing Jordan. Oh,
I just am. And even with the producer, well, I didn't really message him that much, but like with the producer for PBS or Radical Media, I don't know exactly what the partnership is. It's like PBS, Radical Media, everything. But I even message him always being like, oh, I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I really do mean it. Don't get me wrong.
no,
I'm a butt kisser, but I really do mean it. I'm just generally a very over nice person, I guess you can say.
yeah.
And
I can tell the difference when you're being professional and when you're not. So it's like
yeah.
I can tell the
On
difference.
Facebook, it's about kisser straight up.
Yeah. Oh.
Slash kind of being
No, I'm
professional.
kidding. I am not kidding people. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, grades are due today. So guess what I'm going to be doing?
Oh my gosh. Do I need to stand by my Facebook Messenger and wait for the whining?
No. No, I was thinking I'm going to message. Oh my goodness. You know me so well. You should get a sound effect. You should get a sound effect for a whiny baby on here or something like that, because that's definitely me.
No, I could probably look that up.
Right. Anyway, grades are due today, so Caitlin's already going to be probably expecting a post on Facebook saying, "Oh my God, I got done with my second to final semester of UNC. I'm so grateful for Docs, Dr. E, and Sean. Thank you so much for teaching me the inner works of media. I couldn't have done this without you. Also, Caitlin, I know you're thinking I'm a butt kisser." I'll add that.
Oh my God.
I mean, honestly, when you have your professors on Facebook, I'm sorry, but that's what I'm gonna do.
Oh my God. If I get messaged by dogs, it's so your fault. I'm putting your name
Oh
on
my
it.
gosh. Well, our graduation. Well, my graduation is next semester, and it's virtual. I'm kind of already figured.
Unfortunately. Plus,
Yeah.
you have to pay $50 to submit the application for graduation.
Okay, that's the one thing. Okay, sorry. I know we should all be positive on here, but I'm gonna get a little ranty over here.
Go.
So, graduation application. So you have to register for graduation at the end when you finally register everything else.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm in the process of doing it. I haven't done it yet because I need to still to get this one credit in for whatever the degree. And basically, I'm looking at the graduation application because I'm going to do it like next week. And they were all like, you have to pay $35.
Yeah.
Or like $50 or something like that for this grad. Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, like, didn't I just give you like $12,000 plus of tuition? Like, and now you're asking me for $50 just to obtain my diploma. What? Sorry, it's just like, I think that's probably every college they have, but I just generally don't understand, especially when it's virtual. Like, am I paying for my diploma, or am I paying for like being featured on their digital like slideshow for like 10 seconds? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know.
It's weird because guys some of you who are at college know this, and some of you who are not in college is that it's expensive as. I am not kidding. It's like it's ridiculous because UNC runs like $1,000 per class, I think, if I did the math correctly, and it's ridiculous. Now they're charging us $50 to register for graduation when it's just virtual. That's not right, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I am taking what is it? World Geography this semester. And I've already, complained about complained to Caitlin about it.
Yeah.
And how I'm not doing my classes.
Yeah.
So anyway, I did the honor and doing World Geography this semester just to get another credit out of the way. And I had a 2-day winter break. It was the greatest 2 days of my life. I slept all of those 2 days. Anyway, and Basically, I paid for my class the other day. That one class, no joke, you guys, it cost me $1,080. $1,080. And I'm thinking to myself, and I'm looking at the like what I'm required to do for this class, and I'm thinking to myself, why is this $1,000 when all it is, you guys, is just textbook work? That's all it is. And it's fine. I get it. Like teachers probably need to make a living. I mean, that's probably what part of their, pay is coming from. But I don't know. It's just, it is expensive. And I generally think college should not be this expensive for someone who wants to go out and get an education. And that's why, yes, I am grateful to have that opportunity to go to college. But yeah, it's crazy how much they ask as far as, and that doesn't even include books or anything
I know.
additional.
Oh. And here's a good tip, audience. When you go for books, do not go to the bookstore. Do not. There are other ways to get them.
I recommend always go to Amazon first or some type of cheap textbook place that you usually find or whatever. Anyway, I recommend going to Amazon first, comparing their prices. We also have our university textbook store, which is called Textbook Brokers. That one's okay. I just recommend Amazon because I don't want to drive all the way down to Greeley just to get a textbook. So I normally do Amazon anyway. But for the most part, they've been pretty good. My textbook is arriving this Friday, and I have an assignment to do tonight, and haven't done it.
I'll be watching Christmas movies. I'll be thinking about you.
Pray for me. Pray for me.
I'm praying. I'm probably laughing, but
yeah, exactly. You know me well because
I'm standing by my Facebook guys. I'm standing by my Facebook Messenger. The minute the semester's over, I am by my Facebook Messenger. Just waiting for Jordan. The Facebook me message me
well.
complaining about a grade or just not feeling motivated. It's just something. I'm waiting. I'm used to it. I don't mind it. This is why I love our friendship. I don't mind it.
Her.
I can handle it.
She lets me take it. Yep.
Except for the butt kissing. That.
It was pretty funny. It is. I mean, like I said, it's part of the anxiety, but it's also more like just like the littlest amount.
I'm not gonna lie. My PR internship, we have to do pleasantries.
Right.
Pleasantries. Hello.
Rose.
Hello, Gary. I hope you're doing well today.
Oh.
Or during these challenging times. Do you have a moment to consider listening to music from boom, 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 boom? It's just like pleasant.
Is it just like random people that you do?
Oh, a lot of them are like major labels, like from MTV, Billboard to NPR, PBS. Which, by the way, they have accepted two artists that I've helped promoted, so they'll play their music. Just a whole bunch of a lot of bloggers. I cannot tell you guys how many bloggers are out there who just write. I mean, straight up just write. And I have to keep emailing them. If it's just batch an email tomorrow, I have to email them again. Oh, it's you. Oh, hi, Caitlin. It's you. No, I'm not interested. Go away. Thank you. Have a nice day. Oh, hi, Caitlin. So good to see you. How are you? I like that stuff. But, there have been times where I got shouted at for a couple of things.
Just like reaching out?
Like, oh, this link doesn't work. I told you this link doesn't work. And my boss told him, if you have Safari, here's the link. But he still complains, and he was really rude to me. And my boss stepped in and just told me to just say, don't even respond. I'm sorry he's talking to you like that. Don't respond to him.
Wow, people are ridiculous.
I don't know. It's like, I get it, okay? But if the link doesn't work, you tell me politely instead of yelling at me or berate me over words. Like
some people don't really know how to use proper professional.
Yeah, I know. It's
communication over.
I'm not gonna lie, it brought me to tears. It really did, because I'm like, yeah, really, I don't talk about it. I don't like sharing my feelings with a whole lot of people. So it's kind of like, yeah, I was in tears for a little bit. I'm like, good gosh. And then, I had my tears and all that. Then, I mustered up my courage and just went on with it.
Don't deserve that. That's crazy.
But at the same time, though, it just gives me really a lot more respect for people in the PR world that have to deal with all that daily.
I watched some day in the life of a PRist or whoever it is, and she worked with like a really known person, and she helped them like with everything PR wise. And she even said she made a video, and she just was like, I generally, and it was unpaid too, but they worked her butt off. And she was like, I, even though this was like a very well-known company, it's not worth doing this unpaid. And she just said it wasn't worth the stress and anxiety. And she even said she had a company phone, and she would always be paranoid about missing any messages, and she would just be literally not sleeping at all because she would be always worried about missing something important.
Yeah,
it's
sorry.
it's a lot of responsibility, and like I don't know if I want to take chance. Like, you never know, like I said, what life brings you, but like I really don't know if I do. I don't know, I'm just so used to journalism. I don't know how I feel about PR as far as
I
like,
mean, I have a lot of respect for it, but if I were to go to PR, I would probably go back to rope a dope if they have me.
yeah. um Yeah, I don't know, honestly. I feel like, yeah, PR, definitely you have so much.
No, well,
Because if, yeah,
I just wanted to be the audio and visual editor, but they put me in PR. I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes. I'm like,
that's crazy.
well,
Oh, yeah. So they kind of like, you were expecting so audio and visual, and they did put you in that area.
yeah. Then Mackenzie, right? And she's like,
Right.
well, she asked him why you weren't there, but at the same time, why you're in PR not editing, and at the same time, I'm like, I'm just gonna roll with it.
Yeah.
I don't want to stop the flow on things or anything.
I feel, yeah. Um, yeah. I've always said this to you. And I mean, for everyone out there, we both write for the Mirror, and that was one of our media outlets, is just our Mirror newspaper. And I just always feel bad because I will attend, well, I'm going to attend any meetings for the past couple months, and it's mainly just because, I mean, there's just so much going on right now that I feel bad, but the Mirror is on the back burner right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just another outlet we use. But I always feel bad. Mackenzie's always, she's one of our she's our co-chief executive
Yeah, she's awesome.
writer. She's amazing. I love her to death. She's always so understanding. But I feel bad because I feel like I always miss her messages.
Well,
She, yeah.
and I just think it was just the struggle of the pandemic and everything. I think it
I know
just
she's
caught
trying to,
up to us.
there's not that many reporters for the newspaper, and so we kind of put our, like at first we were all like, oh yeah, we're getting it really good, we're doing pretty well with the small amount of people we have. And then all of a sudden I feel like we all just kind of like fell off the face of the earth, and just kind of like attended to our, like, we prioritized um just our duties and stuff. And so that's why I felt like the Mirror was just like, and I kind of just told myself like, it's on the back burner. I want to publish more stories probably next year. She even messaged me about December's print story, and I said, I don't know if I messaged her. I feel bad.
Yeah, I have plans to be. Well, she's not coming back.
Do you know who it's going to be next year?
No idea. I know Mackenzie asked me to do it, but I'm going to be recovering because I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks right after surgery. January 5th through January 19th, I'm going to be gone because of medication. So there's no way I could be doing anything at that point. And probably after the 19th, I'll probably start back up, start writing for the paper and all that.
Geez, I just realized, yeah, she needs to find a replacement.
Hmm.
That's crazy. I mean, she even hinted to me about it too. And I was kind of like, I just felt bad because it's just like, I would, but I'm like, I'm not as dedicated to the newspaper compared to other platforms, just because
I was dedicated. It's just life got in the way.
yeah. No, you were very dedicated. You were on it, like, and you're still on it. You're really good.
Yeah.
It's
Still working on a
just
story that still needs to be worked on. So, but Matt, the guy in charge of the students, Matt Lumberg or something like that. I can't remember what's his last name. He's helping me with the story.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
So he actually was the original writer for the story that I'm writing about. So
Oh, there you go.
What's even better, working with him.
Nice.
Yep.
That's
So
awesome.
I think we're gonna wrap it up here. I think it's just about 3:30.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. 3:30. Jeez.
I know. See, guys, it's what the show. I like the show to be about. It's just to have fun. You know, we talk about serious stuff. We laugh till we cry. You know, we express our concerns, but it's all for fun. And seriously, and if you guys like the show, please hit the like button. I'll promise you too. I'll get the name of the show when I figure out. I'll probably end up pestering Jordan about, and once we figure it out, I'll let you know.
I was thinking if you
Okay,
might.
here we go.
Oh, no, I was thinking if you want me to, if you come up with a name, I'll make a logo.
Oh, hey, there you go. That's how your networking happens.
I'll,
All
see,
right.
there you go.
So like, subscribe, comment. You know, I usually reply to comments on a timely, professional manner. So please feel free. But people who leave negative comments, I will not be responding to those at all. If you have a problem with the show, that's not my issue. It's more likely yours. So. So see, even Jordan agrees. So everyone, so Jordan, thank you so much for being my first guest on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I really
You're
enjoyed
welcome. I'm thrilled that you would be able to do this. Couldn't ask for a better first guest. And guys, thank you for tuning in. This is a long show, but bear with me. We'll work on it together. So remember, hit, comment, subscribe. It'll be awesome. I'll see you. New videos should be posted every week. The next video should be posted either before or after Christmas. So it's Christmas week, so things are gonna be a little hectic.
Gonna say.
Yeah, but it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all good. I promise. Until then, I'll see you guys. Jordan, just stay put.
Bye.
Bye, guys.